A couple of months ago, I made some videos that you guys really liked. Talked about Solana, my price target, Ethereum, SUI, and also XRP. But has anything really changed? There's been a lot that's happened in the last 2 months. Bitcoin has not gone up and to the right in a straight line. There have been some major liquidation events. There's more FUD on the horizon. It seems like it never, ever ends. And I still personally believe that the Bitcoin market is going to be topping out this year. So, do I still have the same thesis about all four of these coins and even Bitcoin? Has anything changed? To be honest, yeah, things have changed. If anything, the liquidation event that we saw on October 11th, this massive, massive candle here for BTC, Friday here in Japan, but the damage is already done by the time that I woke up on Saturday morning. But the main thing here is that, oh man, this really changed things a lot for several reasons. Now, there's some FUD happening today. I don't know how this is going to actually play out. I'm currently filming this right now on Tuesday. And it doesn't really matter because I still fully believe we are in the late stages of this bull market. So before I lay everything out as to where my targets are and why I think they are where they are, I need to go back to a chart that's really going to help to frame this really well. About 2 years ago, I made a video talking about this concept, how there's basically a cyclical nature every single year for BTC. We have a top year, bottom, recovery year, rally year, top year, bottom, recovery, rally. And this is our top year, which is almost done. And then 2026, I fully believe that we are going to be entering into a bear market where we're going to see Bitcoin probably topping out somewhere up there and falling somewhere down here over the next year, bottoming out in November 2026. Nothing has changed in terms of when I think things are happening. It's mostly the price. Now, if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know that I love using fib levels, and I used fib levels to accurately plot the top back over here in 2018 using the same levels that have worked exceptionally well. Now, the thing that's interesting about the 2017 to 2018 fibs is that it gave us two perfect levels of support and resistance here at the 1.618 for Bitcoin was $62,000. Yes, it went up much higher than that here in November, and yes, it's gone up much higher since then. But the concept I made originally was talking about, well, we're going to use the same strategy to figure out where we're going to be topping out for the next bull market. And we had to wait for that bull market to top out, which it did, and bottom out, which it did. So using the same strategy, I basically plotted out where I think the market's going to go. And I thought that BTC was going to be topping out here at $173,000. Now, it's clear that Bitcoin has pushed up higher and higher, and that it's also struggled to really stay above $120,000 for any amount of time. I am not of the belief anymore that Bitcoin will be moving up to $173,000. If anything, I think we'll probably see a quick pump or a blow off top for BTC to go up maybe to $150,000. I know it has nothing to do with the fib levels, trust me, but this is the target that I'm looking at. It makes a lot of sense. It again doesn't align with a lot of things, but the reason why I think it's going to be 150,000 is because I believe the price of BTC will move up here to 138,000, have a quick wick up, and then come back down to chill, and then it's done. Now, if I'm expecting Bitcoin to be moving up approximately 33% from the current price as of the filming of this video, then what does that mean about the rest of the market? Well, it means that we need to think about timing. So if we go back over here to BTC's chart, this is everything right now. Personally, I believe that the market's going to look something like this. I personally believe that we have about 5 weeks left for the Bitcoin market to top out around November 16th, to be honest, to be exact. So we have 5 weeks left, or if we're on the daily time frame, as of this video right here that I'm filming, about 30, actually it's less than because this is when I think it's going to be done. So 33 bars as of the filming of this video. So you guys are watching this on Sunday, which means about 28 bars. Now it seems weird to say that. Trust me, I know, but this is what I believe is going to be happening. Bitcoin will have a nice move that we see a nice push up here to 130,000 by the end of October, goes a little bit higher, hits my target, maybe wicks a little bit higher, but it tops out, and then we get something like this and a little bit like this, and it kind of holds, but we do something like this. People think it's going to go up higher. Then we start to see Bitcoin drop while alts go higher, which is why these other charts that I'm going to be talking about are extremely relevant. Solana, Ethereum, SUI, XRP. They'll top out probably on December 19th, on that Friday. And then we see the slow unwinding of a bull market that pivots into a year-long bear market, which will be rough, which will be longer than most people want to believe or expect, especially those that are at the belief that we are not adhering to a 4-year cycle, but that we are adhering to a business cycle. That could be true. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. That could be true, and I could be 100% wrong, but I'm going to stick with my trading thesis, and I think this is what's going to be happening. So BTC, because it's been struggling so much to push above, even back over here, 122K, 124K, and more recently, 126K, I don't see it necessarily going up to 173 out of nowhere. I think that we're going to see BTC recover and do well, going up higher than most people think by the end of the month. But I do think Bitcoin will top out here in mid-November, and then alts will start to change. Now, what happens during this period right here is essentially as Bitcoin starts to chop sideways after pumping, this is really important, then what will happen is during this period, alts will actually lose a lot. They're going to fall lower as BTC looks stronger. They'll be able to keep up, but as soon as Bitcoin starts to stabilize, we're going to see alts go a lot higher, topping out, and then there's some sort of massive correction, and then we start the bear market. That's personally what I think. So my BTC target is around $150,000 is where I think it'll top out on or by the 16th of November, which is pretty soon. Now, before I talk about my targets for all of these other coins, I do need to give a quick shout out. All of our courses at The Better Traders are designed to help you understand how to become a better trader, whether it's a bull market, a bear market, choppy market, whether there's FUD, whether there's FOMO. The courses come with exit strategies for all the different things that I teach, be it bot trading or A/B trading, swing trading. All of our courses also come with coaching, which is awesome. This is something that no one can really offer, especially at this price point, specifically for 15 minutes to financial freedom. There's a ton of stuff included in the course. Plus, it comes with a 1-month trial to the Better Trader Club. And you get access to the trader tier, which includes access to the TBO indicator, which is awesome. So this is the best place to get some real concrete education to help you understand how to trade in a bear market, which I will be doing, and you can do successfully too. It's not that it's easy, but it's not as hard as you think it is. Now, we need to revisit a couple of charts. Like I said, I made some videos. I talked about some possibilities where I think Solana could go. Now, I still firmly stand by these statements over here. Nothing has changed. Solana to $2,000? Are you out of your mind? Now, 2 months ago, people were thinking, oh, this is really possible. Now, no way. No way. Even getting up to $1,000? Very unlikely at this point. Ethereum, a lot of people like Tom Lee from Fundstrat talking about Ethereum going up to $20,000 this cycle. I mean, he has to pump his bags somehow, right? SUI, a 90% drop coming. We literally just saw one on October 10th or to October 11th. And XRP, yeah, nothing's changed there either. I repeat, I am not trying to scare anyone out of your positions prematurely. Again, the important thing to remember as you watch this video is to keep the timeline in mind. If BTC is going to follow my predictions and my expectations to top out at 150K in the middle of November, even with all this terrible price action, this means that we should see Bitcoin do really well. Alts will recover. And if not recover, they're going to go a lot higher. Most people will be in disbelief when this happens. This is normal. This is actually okay. And I think it's actually going to help fuel that rally. But because of all the choppiness that we've seen across the board for so many coins, including Solana, I have a hard time with Solana and with Ethereum. I have a hard time seeing these rally up to some crazy price levels and targets that people are saying. Now, if we're going to consider our Fibonacci levels from 2022, we haven't even seen Solana push back to close above. There was a brief time back over here in January this year where it moved above the all-time high, but it struggled to even push back above there. So what I say to that is, what makes anyone think that Solana is going to magically even push up here to $2,000, which from the current price is basically an 11x. Even right now, from how things stand, for how bad all this chop has been, even moving up here to 250% is a stretch, in my opinion. Is it possible? Sure. But this becomes less and less likely, in my opinion, the longer this takes. The other thing to consider over here, I have to find my support line. Nope, not that one. I need the really old one. This one right here. There are a couple of things to keep in mind as we watch the price of Solana. For one, there is a very dangerous support level right here that's been respected here and kind of sort of here. Solana could go up to $600, but I'm telling you now, if it breaks this level, it dramatically reduces the chances of Solana going up really even above $400, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see an insane rally. Again, consider the timeline that I'm sharing with you. It's my timeline. I could be 100% wrong, so I admit that. But personally, I believe that alts are going to be done by about here, and that includes Solana. So could Solana move up from the current price all the way up 240% in the span of 70 days? It could. If there was enough gas on the fire, yeah, we could see it move up 200%, but is it likely? Based off of all this? Not really, to be honest. So a lot of people are going to be extremely jaded from this video thinking that, well, that's not fair though, because every single bull market we've had, we've seen the price go above the previous all-time high. That's true. But this bull market has also been super messed up ever since about here, October 2023. Things got really messed up early on, too high, too fast, too early, and now we're paying the price later on. So even if Solana does go up higher and we exceed this level and we go up to $1,000, cool. Eventually what will happen is the price will break this support level. And the important thing is to consider that even in the previous bear market, we saw Solana lose 97% of its value. So let's say that it does go up here and it hits $669. Incredible. It probably won't do a 97% drawdown to the next market low. My guess is probably here at about $30. It seems to be good price-based support. Maybe if we're going to be really nice and generous here. But the reality is that it's not at a really interesting price point personally to start a new position for me. It could go up there, but again, that's me being generous. And I think $400 is even mega generous, to be honest. So if we're expecting, even like a 92% pullback, like a target down here of $30 from the current price is an 83% discount. I'm not trying to scare anyone out of their positions, but I'm not really excited about the prospect a lot of these majors and how high they can grow in 70 days' time, in about 10 weeks or so. So that's the main thing I'm concerned about. Ethereum, nothing has really changed here for me either. I'm not necessarily super mega bearish on Ethereum, but let's be real. This is a nasty pullback that Ethereum underwent for 120 days, losing 66% right in the middle from December 2024 down here to April 2025. What makes anyone think that Ethereum deserves to go up higher? It almost pushed above its previous all-time high. Now, if it goes up, the next logical target, which is 100% feasible for Ethereum, is the 272 because 93% isn't that much. Now, let's say we don't get that and it tops out midway. The same thing applies because the reality is that Ethereum has had some really nasty pullbacks, even in this last bull market, down 81%. So let's say that it tops out here at $7,000 and it goes down 75 or 77%. Then we see Ethereum go here. There's also price-based support to consider as well. If we take this away, same concept applies. Oh, those are older ones. Or sorry, those are new ones. We take this low, the bear market low, to this low, it gives us a pretty great target of where we should expect Ethereum to land by the time we get over here to November 2026, which would be a drawdown of about 77%, where Ethereum goes down here to 1,800. But let's say things get really bad and it goes down to like 1,000. It's possible. Believe it or not, it's very much possible. The thing you have to understand is, where are we right now? How have things been going? Do things look like we have bullish continuation? Not really. And given the timeline, again, I'm expecting alts, which Ethereum is an alt, to top out around here, which gives it about 9 weeks left, 10 weeks. SUI. Unfortunately, there is clear evidence that Binance is at fault for manipulating the price of SUI. How could I say such a thing? Well, if we look at SUI on Coinbase, we see SUI losing 45%, which is still a lot, but falling down to $2. If we look at SUI on Bybit, it also lost a lot of money. It fell down 84%, down here to 58 cents, really similar. If we go over here to KuCoin, it also fell down a lot. So it seems like they're all sourcing and siphoning the same price action from Binance. But it's weird to me that on Coinbase, it's completely fine. Doesn't that seem a little bit weird to you? But let's just keep moving on with this chart here on Binance. The main thing about SUI is that literally we have the playbook. We've already seen SUI lose 84%. And I'm sure when some of you saw this, you're like, dude, that's so clickbait. Why would you do that? We literally saw an 84% drop on the chart, and the thumbnail says 90% drop coming. So basically, what has happened on this pullback is SUI's been given a death sentence, in my opinion. I like it. I think SUI is really awesome. But a couple of things have already happened that are very bad. For starters, it already clearly lost support back over here. It's failed to hold above resistance here. It's told us where it's going to be going next, 57 cents, which almost works out perfectly from where I was making the video originally. Almost. Now, let's say that SUI does recover, which it's still it's like a top 10, top 20 coin. So let's say that it goes up higher. Where could it go? Well, if we look at, I guess these fibs are good. We have pretty clear termination zone up here at 569. So going up 100%, honestly, I wouldn't put it past SUI to do that. So if we see SUI go up here to 569, that'd be pretty amazing. And vice versa, if we see that happen and it goes up there, SUI falling all the way down here is 90%. I don't see why it wouldn't do that. XRP has been extremely rough. The hard part, or the hard pill to swallow about XRP, is that it has an insane fair value gap that will get filled. It's a vacuum. This is a price-based vacuum. On Binance, we saw XRP lose 58% in a day and go right back up. Again, this is showing the market that XRP can definitely go way down here to $1.25 and much lower again. If it goes up higher, this is short term. I don't want to use short term. I want to use the old school fibs. Here we go. Let's use, those are too old school. Let me use this one over here. So we're going to take the 21 to the 22, top to the drop. Notice that the price has been struggling right at the 272, which is a termination zone. It's what we teach in our courses. If it happens to muster up the strength to even shoot up here 150, 160%, I'll be shocked. If anything, I personally expect it to maybe move up a little bit higher, maybe up to like $4, maybe. But I fully expect this fair value gap to get filled. Seeing XRP down 88%, I know some of you don't believe it because you think that it has so much utility and promise. Yes, it's also been cleared from all of its court case trials and battles. That's super duper true. Yes. But even so, with all the tech, all the innovation, there was a massive drawdown of 85%. So a massive drawdown of, if it goes up to this level, which I doubt it will, but let's just say it retraces back up here to 361, that's 86% versus 85%. But I'm pretty sure this fair value gap is going to get closed. If the recent liquidation event has shown me anything, it's how overbought things are and how fragile the crypto market is. If you thought Friday was bad, you're not going to like the bear market. But I have a secret for you. Bear markets are actually where you're going to build the bulk of your money. Your portfolio is built in a bear market. I bought the majority of all of my Bitcoin back in 2022. It was the best time to buy literally anything. The hard part is buying, taking these, and sitting on them. So that way you don't touch your positions for 2 to 3 years. That's the hard part. Now, can you short the market on the way down? Yes. But is it recommended for everyone? No. If Friday, October 10th or 11th, however you want to call it, has taught anyone anything, even with super safe, low leverage positions at 2x leverage, you can still get squeezed. You can still get liquidated. Leverage really isn't for everyone, and leverage is really meant to be used sparingly. Like an 80-20 rule is really good, where 80% of your portfolio is in spot, 20% in leverage. Personally, I'm going to be using less than 10% of my portfolio to short the market on the way down as I scale out of all of my positions, looking to scale out of basically everything, staking a lot of that on decentralized protocols to earn a yield on it, and waiting for the market to bottom out in November 2026. I'll be here every single day until that actually happens. But understand that a lot of coins have shown me so much of their true value and the reality of volatility and FUD in the crypto markets over the last week or two. If you think that things are going to go into this explosive alt rally, alt season, all this stuff, it will a little bit. Again, I think alts will top out by about December 19th of this year. Then I think the market's done. And then we enter into a bear market. So you can do you, boo-boo, but I'm going to be doing me. I'm going to stick to my trading plan no matter what. I'm going to see it through from start to finish. I'm going to protect my portfolio at all costs. I'm going to be satisfied with any amount of profit. These are all rules that are contained in this lovely Better Traders Journal that I talk about and reference every now and then. Now, let's say I'm wrong. I've said this before. I'm happy to say it again. If I'm wrong, awesome. You guys are going to make so much more money than me. I will literally be cheering you on. I will still be doing chart requests. I'll still be talking about where I think things could go and how high and all that stuff. But given how we are very much near the end of every single cycle's market top, I'm erring on the side of the market's almost done. in that I'm not changing my thesis or my trading plan that I set up 2 years ago. We're right on target. I think that we're going to see some fireworks moving into the end of this year. I still think Bitcoin's going to go up. But after that, I'm of the belief that we're done. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm going to stick to my trading plan. Now, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how to handle this stuff, I need you to go to thebettertraders.com and at least check out the 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom course. It is a great place to start. Again, I'm going to be trading in a bull and a bear market, doesn't matter. But this time around, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. You'll see. You'll see. So before you go, watch this video. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.